somewhat difficult to counsel married couples when one of the partners refuses to cooperate. I thought your husband agreed to join us.
He promised he would.
Then let's simply assume he's late.
Let's simply assume he's with Sylvia. Oh, Leslie, I should just say to hell with the whole thing.
Now, don't give up. We've come a long way, you and I. Please, sit, Kate.
Oh, people would stop telling me to sit.
All right, stand then. But let's take advantage of Greg's absence to review the bidding. During our last session, you seemed to suggest that he had actually fallen in love with Sylvia.
Oh, he has, totally.
Couldn't you be exaggerating?
He says things to her he never says to me.
Such as?
You look wonderful. You look beautiful. I love you. All that stuff.
Maybe he is speaking to you through Sylvia. Maybe Sylvia is simply the medium through which he expresses his love for you.
No, Leslie, this is different. Even when we were first married, he never looked at me the way he looks at Sylvia.
And could you describe that look?
Well, there's a sort of deep, distant light in his eyes, a sort of primeval affection.
Do you think? Now, how shall I put this, Kate? Do you think that there was anything physical in his relationship with Sylvia? Now be frank.
No!
You're sure? These things happen. There was a couple in here the other day who did very peculiar things to their cat.
Oh! There is nothing physical between Greg and Sylvia. Oh, there's a lot of patting and pawing and stroking and licking. That goes on ad nauseum. Nothing beyond that. I almost wish there were.
Why do you say that, Kate?
Because then it would just be an affair. And any wife worth her salt can deal with that. This is much deeper. I feel I'm up against something that's gone on for hundreds of thousands of years. Ever since the first wolf came out of the forest and hunkered down next to the caveman by his fire.
But Kate, don't you think that the cave woman must have had ways of shooing that wolf back into outer darkness?
I tried. That's why I got the grant to go to England. All it did was aggravate the issue. Now he loves her even more. He says nothing becomes her like the leaving thereof, so he won't leave her.
Sorry I'm late. Hello, darling.
This is Leslie Gregg.
Hi, Leslie. The reason I'm late is Sylvia had to have her stitches taken out.
We're not interested, Gregg.
No, let him talk, Kate. You had your say. Now he should have his.
Well, while we were at the vet's, we discovered she had worms, which explains why she's been dragging her butt all over the living room.
Hey, why don't you go into the other room and read the magazine? I'd like to talk to Greg alone, if I may.
Is there a phone out there? Maybe I'll just go ahead and reconfirm my single seat on British Airlines.
Trust me, Kate, I've been in this business a long, long time.
But he won't listen. It is impossible to get through.
Sit down.
Thanks.
Talk to me, Greg. Say whatever is on your mind.
Okay. She's not herself lately,
I'm glad you see that, Greg.
particularly these past few weeks.
And why do you think that, Greg?
Oh, I know exactly why. She resents me
And why do you think she resents you?
because I made the decision
What decision?
to have her spayed.
You're talking about
Sylvia.
Sylvia.
You don't want me to talk about Sylvia?
No, I do, Greg. If you want to.
Kate doesn't like me to.
Well, that's Kate, Greg. As for me, I'd like very much to hear about Sylvia. Because by telling me about Sylvia, you are really telling me about yourself.
Well, right. Well, to begin with, she has great eyes.
Sylvia.
Sylvia finally understands understand the word limpid now. She has limpid eyes. Limpid, deep, serious eyes. But that doesn't mean she's serious all the time. She laughs. I've actually seen her laugh. And she has this great little butt. Everyone comments on her butt. When she sashays down the street, she kind of wiggles it back and forth. People stop to pat her just because of that butt. And when we get to the park, the whole gang goes nuts for her. Even though she's spayed, they gather around. You should see Bowser, for example. Oh, hey, I found this poem that Shakespeare wrote about her.
Shakespeare?
Who is Sylvia? What is she? That all our swains commend her.
Right.
Holy, fair, and wise is she, the heavens such
Right.
grace. Yes.
I'm afraid we're confined to the 50-minute hour.
Sorry, I carried away.
Greg, I'm going to do something here which I normally do much further along in the therapy process. I'm going to put myself in the picture.
Yourself.
What's my name, Greg?
Kate said it was Leslie.
Leslie it is, Greg. Now, am I a man or a woman?
You're a woman.
You hesitated, Greg.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I wanted you to hesitate. I wanted you to select my gender. That's why I call myself Leslie. It's a name which works either way.
It does, doesn't it?
And that's why I wear these ambivalent clothes. I may be a man pretending to be a woman, or I may be a woman pretending to be a man. I like my patients select my gender.
I thought you were a woman.
Because you wanted me to be a woman.
I did?
We project our needs onto the world, Greg. Life is shapeless and absurd. We use words, and names, and categories to give us a sense of shape. We need that sense of shape to get us through the day.
Okay.
You even see it in the Bible, Greg. God has Adam name the animals so that Adam can construct his own order out of the chaos around him. Which brings us to your dog, Greg.
Sylvia.
Sylvia. You wanted your dog to be a woman. That's why you named her Sylvia.
But she was already named Sylvia.
But you embraced the name. Because you needed a woman.
I already have a woman. Her name is Kate.
You wanted another kind of woman, Greg. You wanted the subservient little housewife you once kept in the suburbs. You wanted the worshipful daughter who once hung on your every word. You wanted a Sylvia, Greg. If Sylvia didn't exist, you would have had to invent her.
You may be right, Leslie.
Well, I think I am, Greg. Now, these are what we therapists call the dangerous years.
The dangerous years?
The years between the first hint of retirement and the first whiff of the nursing home.
Oh, God.
We should make the most of these years, Greg. I, for example, am exploring the boundaries of gender identification. Kate has moved beyond child rearing to a career in the public classroom, while you, on the other hand, seem to have retreated into a kind of pastoral nostalgia.
Pastoral nostalgia?
By acquiring Sylvia.
I think that's true.
I do, Greg. And I think it's time to move on. It's time to accept the challenges that come with later life.
Maybe so.
Drop the leash, Greg. And once again see if you are capable of taking your wife's hand and walking with her, side by side, toward the setting sun.
Thank you, Leslie. This all makes a lot of sense.
I think it does, Greg. I think it makes a great deal of sense. I must say, I'm exhausted. Shall I bring in Kate so we can all sit down together and work through a few specifics?
Aren't you forgetting one thing?
What, Greg?
Sylvia.
Sylvia.
Well, you've seen Kate. You've seen me. Don't you think you ought to see Sylvia?
You want me to hold a session with your dog?
Well, not a session, Leslie. Jesus, what kind of a nutcase do you think I am? No, I just think you should pat her. Maybe play with her a little. Possibly take her for a short walk. Because then you'd see, Leslie.
See what?
Then you'd see that Sylvia is more than just a name or a gene or a psychological symptom or anything else which tries to pin her down. Any dog owner knows this. If you don't, Leslie, you should get one immediately. We should all have dogs. It should be in the Constitution. It's not just a right, it's an obligation. When you register to vote, you pick up your dog license. The world would be a far better place, Leslie. But just think, you and I, Yasser Arafat, Meryl Streep could all meet at Club Med or someplace. But when we talk about our dogs, Leslie, our dogs.
Greg,
Yeah.
I want you to leave right now. Quickly, if you would, and send Kate in on your way out.
Well, it's Sylvia's dinner time anyway.
What happened?
Kate, I want you to do several things.
Several things?
First, I want you to divorce Greg.
Divorce?
Take him for every nickel he's got. And then, I want you to get a gun to shoot Sylvia right between the eyes. Sorry, I'm late for my shrink.